Welcome back, everybody, to a brand new episode of The Final Verdict. I am John Dodaro, and I am joined with Carlin Jacob as usual. This is the first episode of The Final Verdict that is going on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube for the first time, just know that we have been a podcast for over a year. We are on most podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you can name. This is the first ever episode that we are putting on our YouTube channel that we just made. Decided to branch out a little bit. So if you're behind, start to get caught up. If you want to hear any previous episodes, go to all of our podcast platforms that we are on. But we are now going to start putting these episodes on YouTube for the most part. Probably just about every episode that we do going forward will be on YouTube as well. But we are here for a second straight week to talk about Peacemaker Season 2. 2 episodes are out, 6 more to go. 6 more weeks of this. Can't wait. I love talking about this show. Last week was good. We gave it a grade of 7 out of 10. The last episode we both did. So for this episode, I'm very interested to hear what you have to say, what I have to say. If you're new as well, we do the spoiler-free section first. We will not spoil what happened in the episode that just happened. But I will say episode 1 is fair game. And season 1 is also fair game too. So just know that we'll give it a grade, the episode, and then we'll have a spoiler section for the rest of the episode, breaking down everything. So, episode 2, Peacemaker. I know you were tweeting on the Final Verdict Twitter as well, so I saw some of your reactions to
That's
it all.
not verified.
It is verified. Got the blue check mark on the Final Verdict. It is literally final _ verdict 6 right now, so check that out. But episode 2 is spoiler free.
We should add 7 to it.
Oh god!
Before we start into it, did you see the next time on Peacemaker after the episode ended?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so make sure when you watch the whole thing, there's a next time afterwards. So if you want to see a little tease into the following week, make sure you don't forget about that.
What was interesting was, in episode 1, how they had the behind the scenes at the end.
Yeah,
this one didn't. So I was a little disappointed because typically the HBO Max shows have behind the scenes for, like, when I watched The Last of Us, they had one for every episode. So I was a little upset because I wanted to go a little behind the scenes. But what did you think about this episode? I just want to hear off the gate. What did you think?
I thought it was a fine episode. It kind of reminds me of the first episode. I don't think it's as good. I don't know. That we'll see. But it doesn't do much. Now, there is one action scene that's pretty good in this episode, but it doesn't take too far apart from the last episode, which a lot of these shows normally don't, but especially one certain scene. But it was a good episode. I didn't think there was much wrong with it. It's still setting up the story, and it's slowly setting up why he wants to be in this other universe that is free game. They literally talk about it in the next episode. They literally talked about it in the past episode on this season on Peacemaker. Free game. Sorry. But and they start setting it up. That's all it does. I feel like by episode 3, they need to start doing, like, it seems like they're going to start doing that, I believe.
Yeah.
But I think for the first 2 setup episodes, I think they're pretty good. I love the music choice. I love James Gunn's music taste. Like, I would love to go to James Gunn house and just, like, hear him talk about music and comic books and all that. But, like, just literally, like, to know what James Gunn listens to. Because he's part of the reason I love old music, so.
I mean, from Guardians of the Galaxy to the Suicide Squad to this show, like, his music choices are always top-notch, I feel like. He always just has, like, a slow-mo scene with, like, great music playing in the background. That's like a James Gunn staple right there.
Superman.
And Superman too. It's just a James Gunn staple at this point. If you're going to watch a James Gunn project, just expect a lot of classic music to be played. Usually rock music. Gotta love it. I agree with you. I think this was a good episode. I wouldn't go beyond really what we said about episode 1. And I saw a comment online, and I kind of agree with it. You probably could have released episodes 1 and episode 2 together.
And I thought
last
that.
year or last season, they released episodes 1 to 3 together, I believe. So they decided to divert from that. But I really feel like episode 1 was very set up in terms of like, let's get everyone back on track. Here's where all the characters are now. Episode 2 kind of continues that, I think. Like, let's just see what they're still doing before we get to the plot, like the main plot line. They kind of tease it with like Rick Flag Sr. and what he wants, why he wants Peacemaker in particular. They tell the story that we already know in this episode, but so they set that up. But I really feel like these first 2 episodes are the setup for the season. Like in episode 1, we learned of the alternate dimension where his brother who's dead in the normal universe, and then his father, like they're a trio of heroes. So we already set that up, and at least I thought in episode 2, we'd finally see him go to that universe and do everything. Not yet. That's the only spoiler. Not yet. We still got to do some more storytelling. We still got to set things up a little bit. So this was kind of a second setup episode, I would say. I think by episode 3, we're really going to get into everything with the other universe or dimension, whatever you want to call it. I think we'll slowly start getting there in episode 3. I think this episode really similar in terms of just setting things up. There was some more nudity. Gotta put that warning out because we said in episode 1. Episode 1 had a crazy scene. That orgy scene, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Episode 2, the fallout. Probably the best way to put it. So, yeah, if you don't want your kids to watch this, I would say still don't watch this because there was a little after effect. And at first I thought it was a dream sequence. It is definitely not a dream sequence anymore. So, yeah, there's still some nudity in this one. I loved Eagly, who we got to see more of in this episode. There was a fun scene with Eagly in this. No plot summary, of course.
Which the episode's called
A Man is Only as Good as His Bird.
A Man is Only as Good as a Bird. So, it's a good title.
Good title. Good title. Man is Only as Good as His Bird.
Did you think this episode was better or worse than the first episode?
I really, in terms of its impact, I think it's at the same level. Yeah. I will say I love the Eagly fight scene.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I was having fun with that. I think maybe the humor was up a little bit more in this episode, where like the emotion sides of things were up in terms with like Peacemaker. It was a little more emotional in the first episode. So I think this episode had good humor. I'll say that. I was watching it with my dad. He was laughing a lot too. Who's the one guy who was introduced in this episode too? It was you tweeted him. What's his name? Tim Meadows.
Tim Meadows. Real quick, I loved the person who plays Tim Meadows. Okay, he was in a bunch of other projects. I know he's in. Did you ever watch the show The Goldbergs?
I did, and that's literally what I knew him from.
I love him. I love his comedy style. He's hilarious. Especially him talking in a certain season without going into spoilers. Beautiful. And it doesn't talk much on this episode about Mr. Rick Flag, but we do get a little bit with that on this episode. But anyways, Tim Meadows, he's hysterical. Can't wait to see him more in this show. Even him in the dance sequence.
Yeah. He was funny. He was really funny. I enjoyed Tim Meadows in this. I literally knew him from the Goldbergs. He's in a lot of other things too, but that was like the first thing that popped up to mind. I was like, asked my dad, "Isn't he the teacher guy from the Goldbergs?" Mm-hmm. Or something like that.
And I'm like, spinoff. He was the principal.
Yeah, that was nice to see him again. Yeah, you mentioned Rick Flag Sr. We got the backstory that we kind of knew already. So at least there was that. But yeah, I can't really say too much. Like, we didn't see certain characters that we didn't get from episode 1. like his dad and all that. Like we kind of stepped away from that other universe and just kept it in the main universe for this episode. So it led to some fun scenes. There was a nice scene with like the whole group from season one, team Peacemaker, whatever you want to call it. Like there was a nice scene with them. Some really good comedy, I will say. This episode had some good comedy. There were certain points where I genuinely laughed at. Some gross moments, some nudity, a little bit of everything. I think it was a good episode. In terms of, I think what won't bring it up to like an 8 or a 9 is just on a story level, it didn't do enough, really. It was just more setup. So I can't really bump it up any higher. But it was a funny episode. I was still amused. But I kind of wish we kind of maybe weren't going to keep setting it up. Unless they, I think what they should have done was just release episode 1 and episode 2 together. And then episode 3, we can kick it forward.
Yeah,
So,
because not much happens in this episode where it's like worth it.
plot wise,
That plot wise, it's still a good episode, but like you could have released them together.
yeah. I think, depending on how episode 3 goes, which I think is going to develop it more, the story, I think you could have released episodes 1 and 2 together. That's just my personal opinion. But they were still both good episodes. So, to give it a grade, what would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, ooh,
You gave episode 1 a 7.
I'm gonna give this a 7 too.
Okay.
I think they're about the same. I mean, I think I like this one a little less, but because I feel like episode 1, the main thing that really got me hooked was the final fight scene.
Peacemaker,
Just,
Peacemaker.
yeah. There's still a 7, but like if we were actually ranking this TV shows, I would probably put episode 1 still above episode 2. What about you?
That's completely fair. I am going to completely agree with you. I'll start with a 7 here, continue with a 7. So 2 7s out of 10s. I think this episode might have been funnier. It had some fun action. I think episode 1 was better on a story level. So I think these were 2 good setup episodes. I think maybe if this, how, depending on how this season transpires, maybe I'll look better at these episodes. But for now, they're kind of just setup episodes. I'm hooked. I'm curious to see how this season is going to go down. But I kind of want to get the ball rolling now. Let's see that other universe. Let's do all that. So I think the setup has been good. A 7 means good in my eyes. So we'll leave it at that. But let's break down the episode. So if you have not seen this episode yet, stop listening or watching. Come back to this later. But if you have seen the episode or you just do not care to be spoiled, you just want to listen to us talk even longer, keep on listening because the spoiler section starts right now. You have been warned. Yeah, they did not go into the dimension at all, the alternate dimension, until the very end of the episode, where he had to get that phone service. Kind of funny how they have iPhones in both universes, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like James Gunn saying that like the text is gonna work. I was like, that's not definitely how that works, but okay. And then he did do it, which I'm glad he did not do that at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to set up the Inside the Dome Final Verdict Twitter. So, but yeah, I mean, him going there and just showing that like he kind of wants to start to live there just shows it. And I mean, he's gonna universe hop obviously because we see him talking to other people. But even where he just randomly goes, "How about a bank?" in the next episode is gonna be funny, I think.
And the brother says in the trailer, like, you keep coming, you keep disappearing. So I wonder if he's gonna hop back and forth, potentially. Like, he's not gonna permanently stay there. I don't know. Because the brother said that in the trailer for the next episode. Like, you keep disappearing or something like that. So maybe that was just for the disappearance when Peacemaker 2.0 died. But so he's going to that universe. He's going to play the role of Peacemaker there with the long sleeves. So we know that's finally coming. I thought that would come in episode 2, but we had to delay a little bit. And I do not have a Wikipedia plot summary to you. So we're going to do this mentally in terms of what happened. So what happened in this episode? He tried hiding the body of Peacemaker 2, and that wouldn't work. So he resorted to what's his name? Vigilante coming over, and they cut up the body and burned
Bro,
it.
Vigilante enjoyed that way too much.
That was so funny. I was dying.
tweeted about that.
He was smiling, like Peacemaker was just like, ew, that's gross, and then Vigilante's like, yeah, I love this kind of stuff. This is my jam right here. That was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, I love that scene. That was a standout scene. But we're kind of going out of order because I was near the middle of the episode. So he's failing to hide a body. There's fallout. James Gunn's wife, Harcourt, she has a moment at what was it, like a store or something. And then the woman is like,
yeah,
you can talk about what you're going through and everything. You don't have to be a victim of abuse. And she's like, shut up. That toxic masculinity coming through. And then who'd she compare that one dude to? It was like a Muppet.
Yeah, the one Muppet. What's his name?
Oh my, Beamer?
Beaker.
Or yeah.
Yeah. He's a scientist. This dude.
Yeah.
If you go on the YouTube, you can see what he looks like. Or you can Google it, but
YouTube.
Thank you,
YouTube. That was funny. That was a funny moment. There was a scene with you tweet about it too. Adebayo and her girlfriend, I believe, and they broke
they were
up
supposed to go back to Gotham.
Yeah. First off, the dogs were so cute.
They were adorable.
So cute. But that line, I didn't really pay attention to anything else in that convo, but like that one woman was like, "We got to go back to Gotham." Why? Gotham?
Well, they're from Gotham.
Why would you want to go back to Gotham? You want to live in the city with Joker and Penguin and...
I will say, the one girl, Rick Flag's assistant, she is part of the Wayne Enterprise. She's part of the reason that all happens, I believe. Or she's linked to it.
Wayne Enterprise?
Yes. James Gunn was talking about it on some TV show. And they asked her about it, and she goes, and then she's like, I don't know. She says something. She's like, he goes, like in the most James Gunn possible way. You would have to watch the clip, but she's tied to all of it. And actually, I didn't really speak about it. There's a can in my room that's bothering me. That's why I keep looking up. I didn't talk about this yet, but I rewatched Suicide Squad, which, John, I'm telling you, if you get a free time this weekend, rewatch Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad.
Yes.
It helps. Because I kind of forgot about certain things. Now, not everything's going to tie in. It's a great rewatch, and it's mainly Rick Flag getting killed. But there are tie-ins to it, which is nice. And obviously, a lot of that's going to deal with Rick Flag Sr. going back, which we do get him in this episode. We don't get a lot of him, but we basically get you're going to go stalk Peacemaker. And it's been 8 months they've been doing this.
Yeah. And that was funny, too, because my dad was like, did he kill Rick Flag in season 1? Junior, I'm like, no, that was in the Suicide Squad. So, yeah. If you have not seen the Suicide Squad, that's probably a good recommendation.
Has your dad ever seen Suicide Squad?
I think he did. I don't know. That was a long time ago, though.
I mean, ask him, but if he hasn't, he can watch that, and he can watch Thunderbolts, because
we did just watch that today. Literally.
Oh, good.
It was a great watch.
What was I going to ask you? What does he think of this show?
Oh, he just watched episode 2 together. We liked it. It was good.
Does he like it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he likes it. We were laughing during the episode.
Yeah.
He liked Thunderbolts a lot, too.
Yeah. Dude, the nudity scene, I was like, oh, they're still there.
Yeah, it was still there. It was the aftermath. They were all sleeping in the living room. I'm like, oh god.
And
And
then
then
Chris is like, hey, can you tell him get out? And then freaking Vigilante. Bro, Vigilante goes, the time from that toilet flush to her walking the door means she didn't wash her hands. That is disgusting. I'm like, she's literally part of an orgy. And your first thought was she didn't wash her hands.
He wanted to be a part of it. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to
Isn't
be there.
he a clean freak?
I forget. If that was season
I want
1.
to say he is.
He might be.
Ooh.
That was 3 years ago. God. That's what's tough. It's been 3 years. I can't fully remember everything.
I feel like once they announce the final season, I'm going to rewatch all of it.
Yeah. Or at least, yeah, just something. I've tried to rewatch some scenes from the past season. Yeah, I don't fully remember if he's a drunk
I
freak
watched
or not.
a breakdown of New Rockstars and them doing the season 1 recap.
Interesting. But so that happened. Gotham happened, or the reference. They cut up Peacemaker's body. And Economos is stalking John Cena, and then he gets joined by what's his name again? Tim Meadows, his character. He comes in, and they're making jokes. He's like calling him names and everything. This was all funny stuff. Probably not going to say every name that he was called, and the other mercenaries were called too.
Oh, actually, there's one I do want to say.
Yeah.
The post-credit scene.
Oh yeah, the post-credit scene.
He was talking about his thingamajigger.
Yeah.
And their experience. And he said one had blonde hair and one had no hair.
Yeah, and it was like the Peppermint Twins.
Who's the... Okay, now here's my thought. Is he calling that a nickname, or is he referring to the girl who was part of the whole thing? The whole takedown scene with Eagly.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where my mind went when he said
because the one girl was bald. Oh, God.
She has alopecia. Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I searched up Peppermint Twins online, and I got the Double Mint Twins. That was like an old commercial back in the day. Maybe that's what he was referring to. I don't know. But yeah, he said one was bald. Yeah, he could have been doing some fun stuff with the mercenaries. That's crazy. That's diabolical, Tim Meadows. Absolutely diabolical if that's the case. Yeah, you look that up. What else happened? So they're talking. Peacemaker opens up the dimension rift, so then they're like, okay, we got to send people in. They're cutting up Peacemaker 2.0. So then they leave for Economos, John Cena, Adebayo. They all go to Harcourt's place or her rooftop. Vigilante's there too, and the 5 of them are getting drunk. Vigilante gets naked, or almost naked at one point, at the end. Cena's talking with Harcourt. It doesn't really go well, so he's depressed. He gets drunk, depressed. It was a cute little scene. While that's happening, they're at the house. Tim Meadows and the mercenaries. He's calling them names. And then all of a sudden, they're in the house. They're searching for things. And Eagly comes out and just beats the crap out of them. I mean, ripped out an eye. First off, that was crazy. And then, like, ripped out a part of the one mercenary's neck. And then, oh my God, like, knocked out Tim Meadows. This is a great scene. Honestly, this scene alone, like, could bump this episode up to an 8. But I think I'm still going to keep it at a 7. But this scene was very fun. Eagly is awesome. I love Eagly.
Eating the eye out.
The eye out was crazy. That was... I squirmed
and then
when that happened.
Peacemaker coming. That didn't bother me. You know how, like, ill I get about things. That did not bother me.
When John Cena was getting cut up, did that bother you?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he goes in the shower and the blood's running off. But what I was going to say is...
What were you going to say?
Oh, him coming back and having no idea what happened. He was like, "Oh, Eagly just trashed the place."
Yeah. Like, there were feathers everywhere. I thought Eagly got hurt or something, but no. Eagly was okay. And then the episode ends around here, I think, because John Cena, or Peacemaker, I should start saying. Peacemaker had the
Chris.
phone
Yeah.
of, or Chris. Chris had the phone of Peacemaker 2.0, and he tried texting Harcourt from that universe, but the message failed to send. Thank goodness. That would have been a plot hole. So he realizes he's drunk and depressed. I gotta go to that universe so I can text her. So he walks over. I think he left the door open. I think he left that door open.
He did. He just left it straight open.
Left it wide open, so anybody could walk through right now. He goes into the other universe or dimension, and then the text goes through, and she responds, "Hey," with a heartbreak emoji.
She broke it. He broke his heart. You broke my heart.
But I thought they were together or something. They must
No,
not
that's
be.
his ex.
Uh,
They said the name. I cannot tell you at the top of my head, but they said her name
hmm.
of the new girl he's been hanging out with, and I guess.
Okay. So Hardcore and Peacemaker in that universe aren't together, but
They're broken up.
they're broken up. Okay. So it's still not even that great in that universe. So, but that's how it ends, and you can hear in the background they're like, "Where did Chris go? Like, where'd he go? He's been gone for a day or something like that." So there was
Do you know
that.
Eagly has a voice actor?
Eagly does have a voice actor.
D. Bradley Baker.
Probably
Shout
just
out to
like
you.
it's like an animal actor, probably like voice actor, like to do the all that. Yeah, D. Bradley Baker, who is an American voice actor. Most of his work has consisted of vocalizations of animals and monsters. There you go. He's been in a lot of things. SpongeBob SquarePants he's been in. Interesting. He plays Gary. You think he plays Gary?
Really?
I'm about to find out.
Oh,
If
dude.
possible. If I can do a quick wiki search.
We're both like
Who
trying to
voices
figure it out.
Gary? Oh my god. Gary in SpongeBob. It's actually Tom Kenny. That's actually the voice of SpongeBob, I think. Or no, that's yeah. Wait. Or no. Who voices Oh my god, we're about to be like in a SpongeBob loophole. I can't get into that. Okay, he doesn't voice Gary, he must voice someone else. Okay, I'm not getting into that. Unless I go to filmography. Oh my god, are we gonna be stuck on this? Oh my god. Okay, he plays Squilliam Fancy Son. Oh my god. Bubble
Really?
Bass. Nat Peterson, I don't know that. He plays Bubble Bass and Squilliam. Oh my god. Shout out to the Eagly actor right there. Shout out to him. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I'm happy I wasted a minute right there figuring that out. That was well earned. Shout out to him, the Eagly actor, D. Bradley Baker. I might just start calling Eagly Squilliam from now on. At this point, that unibrow goes crazy. All right. So the episode ended with that. And I'm going to assume he stays in that universe going to episode 3. He doesn't leave. So, anything else that I missed from episode 2? Anything
No,
big?
but I'm in a loophole with the girl
The girl.
in the fight scene with Eagly. Her name is Anissa Matlock, and she's actually been working with James Gunn for the past couple of years. She's a writer.
Okay. So another James Gunn friend.
Yeah, I can't tell though. If she has alopecia, that's what it's called. She basically says she lost her hair. I'm not going to go into it. I really don't want to speak on it because it's not my place to speak on it. But I forget how that was completely tying into things.
I don't know either. Shout out to that actress / writer. Yeah. Shout out.
She did a good job.
They all did a
like
good job. All
I
those
like
mercenaries.
when she's sitting there and Tim Meadows is like, "We'll get you help," and she's sitting there. She's like,
Yeah. Oh god.
also the bird joke where he does.
Yeah, he can't see the birds. He doesn't know the difference. That was great.
He's like, a hummingbird's the same bird to me. He's like,
It's
get
a
the
duck.
falcon. The duck.
Tim Meadows was great in this episode. Everything about him.
Oh, she related back to the girl that was Tim Meadows was telling a story about his thingamajigger. That's because we were talking about how I thought that was her.
Yeah.
Which I can't find anything on the Peppermint Girls, by the way.
Yeah. Except from that old commercial back in the day, so that's about it.
Yeah.
So
maybe they'll expand more on it, maybe not. It's probably just a dead joke. But...
Probably a dead joke. I looked through your thread on the Final Verdict Twitter. I think we covered everything that you said on there too.
We need James Gunn to tweet out this. Did you see what I did to the Final Verdict Twitter too, by the way?
What'd you do to the Final Verdict Twitter?
I actually put stuff on it, so we actually now have a banner.
That's cute.
Filled out. Yeah.
You should send me that so I can put that on YouTube as well.
What, this?
That banner. Yeah, the banner. I don't have a banner on YouTube yet. But when you all will be listening, I will, because he will be sending it to me.
I just took the old logo and I zoomed in on it. That's all I did.
Just send that to me. All right. Beautiful stuff. Any other final thoughts? Peacemaker, episode 2.
I'm excited for episode 3. Like we said, I kind of wish that they just released both of these episodes. But you know what? They did what they did. So
yep. Hey, we get to talk about it for even more weeks at this point. They just want us to talk about it longer, make more content. Thank you, James Gunn, for that. That's going to do it, though, for us. Thank you all very much for listening. Next week, same time, same place, pretty much. Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3 will drop. It'll be on YouTube. It will be on most podcast platforms, so check that out. We'll pretty much be doing this on a weekly basis. In terms of movies, there isn't anything big coming out yet. If you have any recommendations, let us know. Maybe there'll be some quick reviews in the future. But I think in terms of August, I've seen everything I needed to see in theaters already. So September is coming soon. Sure, there'll be some movies in September that we'll see in review. Those will just happen when we see those movies. There's no certain schedule on when we do movie reviews. It's just when we see them, we review them. They don't get an episode review, they get a TikTok.
I will say in September, because this is the last episode for the month.
It is.
For both podcasts. September 17th is a big day for 2 reasons. First things first, the show I've been watching, which has been one of my favorite shows so far of the year, The Summer I Turned Pretty, ends. This show completely ends. So there will be a review on TikTok talking about it. I tweet out during every Wednesday during it when I sit down and I watch it. Last night was at midnight. Loved it. But that ends September 17th, and there might be a podcast episode on it. It would probably just be myself, depending on how it ends and if it's worthy of it. But there will definitely be a TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube short on it. But also, more importantly, how this relates to you, Gen V starts that day.
Yeah, our next weekly series.
So that will probably be dropping on Thursdays. When that gets closer, we'll talk about it, obviously.
Yeah.
But
that will be our next weekly series. They will be happening at the same time for a little bit. Peacemaker and Gen V.
Dude, I'm kind of glad that Gen V in The Summer I Turned Pretty and then start on the same day, because I couldn't imagine doing that for like 2 weeks of just trying to watch.
And that's all you. I'm not watching.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Pretty. I haven't seen that.
Speaking of today, Sabrina Carpenter's new album comes out. I know you're not going to listen to it, but check on Twitter on Final Verdict for the ranking, because I'm going to rank that album, and TikTok as well. I'm going to make a TikTok video on it, and we'll be on the final ranking of the year. Maybe I can get John to listen to it, or maybe he'll listen to Life of a Showgirl, or probably neither.
Probably neither.
If you had to pick,
give me Sabrina.
I'll let you know if it's actually half decent or not.
Let me know if it's actually half decent. But follow the socials. Definitely our Instagram. That's usually where you'll know when we post new episodes. our Twitter/X, the final verdict, final_verdict 6. It is with our logo. So check that out. Follow our TikTok as well. All that is in the link tree in the link in bio, or just look us up and we will usually pop up right away. Check us out. Check out our sports podcast, Inside the Dome, our true baby right there. We have a YouTube for that, as well as podcast platforms and Instagram and Twitter/X. That's followed by John Cena. Shout out to John Cena. We were reviewing a show on him. And obviously TikTok too. So follow that as well. Other than that, thank y'all for listening to another episode of our Peacemaker review series with Carlin Jacob. I am John Dodaro. Have a great day, everybody, and see you next time on The Final Verdict.